Alright YouTube, still at Taylorsville MetroPark in the East Park. We're going to pick up the orange trail here very soon. Still on a little bit of the yellow, but we're going to pick up the orange trail here very soon past the rock outcrop area. And I've heard stories about how the rock outcrop got its name. That I think it was in the 70s or 80s, the rocks had fell in that area, and that's kind of how it got its name, the rock outcrop. This is at trail marker number 2, and see, the MetroParks does a very good job at marking their trails, which anybody that would say, oh, that would do well, take away a skill like her, no, that's purely stupid. That's purely stupidity, because it doesn't change the terrain. It makes it easier for you to navigate your hike. There are some places like Glen Helen which are not marked at all, and it's kind of confusing the trails back through there. John Bryan isn't that, well marked either. I was talking about that area towards the end of my last video. So yeah, I mean, Glen Helen and John Bryan are good to take kids to, but just not the gorge at Clifton Gorge, because of the rocky area. It's not an area I would recommend taking a young child to, because you just don't know if they accidentally fall on those rocks and they could get seriously hurt. But this right here is considered pretty safe, I think. The park looks pretty clean. The Dayton hikers, they had a cleanup here, I guess, a few weeks ago, because numerous people have said that the parks were getting trashed, quite badly due to the influx of extra visitors while we were on lockdown. And we still kept our parks open here. Yeah, here's the rock outcrop. It's really beautiful due to the influx of visitors, because it was one of the only things that people were allowed to do. And people were getting cabin fever during that time, which is understandable. I know I was, but even though I was filming every day, I was out filming stuff every day, so I definitely the most busy period on my YouTube page for quite a while, as I was filming that crisis every day. And honestly, it was the best thing that happened to my channel for quite a while, because it gave me motivation to go out here and film stuff again. Here we pick up the orange trail. I'm going on the Seattle Seahawks cap right there. Gonna pick up the eastern side of the orange trail. And hike this trail. It takes about 45 minutes to hike this trail. Be about 45 minutes to an hour. I'm moving at a fairly decent clip, or a fairly decent speed through here, so I think I'll cover it at about 45 or 50. Definitely trails are more tore up than normal, and I think that looks to be the bigger problem than whatever trash is here, because obviously these trails were getting a lot more usage than normal because of the whole coronavirus, you know, garbage that we had went through. And now people are saying, well, and I'm not going to get into the rioting thing on this video very much, but people said now the rioting has kind of replaced the whole coronavirus, you know, hysteria in the US. But that's, you know, because of that black man that was murdered by that cop up in Minnesota. But that's a subject for a whole nother video. Beautiful area through here. I would say I'm moving at a moderate pace, probably 3 miles an hour or so. I'm definitely not moving at a slower pace today, but I can walk pretty fast when I have to. Little stream through the trail. Yeah, if I went on the western side of the Orange Trail, you could knock that out in 20 minutes because there's not that much turning on it. This side of the trail, you know, you're, you know, weaving in and out, which it was a good, well-designed trail. Wow, that's a big tree that's down right here. Huh. Wow, that is one of the biggest trees I've seen down. Here at the parks for a while. There is no excuse why that should be down like that and not be cleaned up, but that is a gigantic tree. It's in the middle of the trail. Definitely takes some heavy chainsaw equipment to get that moved out of the trail. I don't mind trees being down a little bit, but that's just totally unreasonable for that large of a tree to be down and nothing is being done about it. That just is not acceptable. beautiful views you have, and you can see almost down to the river from right here. Yeah, you can. It's a little bit harder to see at this time of year all the way down there because of the tree cover. You can hear US 40 above. Right, we're in the middle of the screen is where it is, right above. And these footbridges right here, I don't know how old they are, but there's about three or four of them. There's only one on the orange trail. There's 2 or 3 on the yellow trail. It's obviously meant to have a crossing in an area that obviously gets a lot of moisture and water damage. And of course the parks do need to do their part to make sure there's things like that for areas that otherwise get washed away without a crossing. I don't see anything wrong with that at all, really. There used to be some steps down below the overlook that are near the Civilian Conservation Corps, Civilian Conservation Shelter, that got washed away, about 10 or 12, 13 years ago, that they never did replace. It went up a big hill, an area that was near the river, that got washed away. The downhill sections on these rocks are what you got to be more careful on. Not saying you don't have to be careful on the uphill, but if you fall forward uphill, you're not going to get hurt as bad or tumble as bad. You got to definitely watch it on the downhill sections of these rocks that are in the trail. But overall, I mean, you can still bring a kid here as long as they're, safe about it. And of course, proper footwear is always recommended, regardless of your age. Yeah, you don't want to be taking just regular shoes hiking. They'll get trashed. You have to have some good boots or trail runner shoes. Seen a few people out today so far. A couple families and a runner. See the river, I think, down below the, yeah. I'll be down there in a little bit. Probably another 30 minutes before I'm down that way. Yeah, you could definitely see where the trails definitely got tore up and where it's gotten wider. This area right there. That obviously widens the trail. Obviously. Which many people have said it's not good for the trails. They say you should just walk through the mud and not walk around it so you don't widen the trail, which is understandable. Yeah, I should be to the top of the trail here probably in about 20 minutes or so. I'm making good time right now, so it's all good. Just an absolutely gorgeous day outside. kind of doubtful I can, well, I don't know yet. I might be able to get to the top of the key on this trail in the next 15-20 minutes. Generally on my Galaxy Note 8, the videos, I think about the longest I can make a video here is about 38 minutes before it cuts off. So I don't know if I can make it down, make it over in that amount of time, but anything is possible. About 22 minutes into this video. So I just came from over that way. Couple other hikers I hear. That's good though. Oh yeah, they're up in the parking lot up top. Here's another parking lot up here that I don't think is quite as used as the CCC shoulder, but it's still there. Yeah, that's actually the trail that leads up to that parking lot above there. And definitely tell the trails have had, I'm not used to seeing this kind of damage on the trails right here. This is definitely where the trails, I mean, you're gonna have mud, that's just part of hiking, but you could tell that where the trails have just got a lot more activity than normal the last 2 months, where some of that is from, obviously. Just a beautiful area through here. Look at the views you get as you're looking towards the road and then back down into the, and back down below. About 10 minutes to make it to the top. I think I can do it. Maybe before this video runs out and I start a new one. And I probably won't do any more videos from here for a while unless I see something really spectacular after today, because I've covered this in videos numerous times throughout the years on my channel. But sometimes it doesn't hurt to do some new ones, because obviously I've had a lot more views and more, you know, new viewers than normal. I think the last, you know, couple months, you know, because of the situation, and I was given some, you know, honest coverage from a citizen perspective about how the poor were just left to rot in this situation, how the working man, you know, was just left to rot too, and how the stores were in a crisis for 2 months, you know, as far as, you know, finding certain cleaning supplies, meats, and certain grocery items. But some of that has calmed down, but I think you're still going to have a hard time finding certain cleaning supplies for a while. They're going to definitely have to up the production at least for cleaning supplies at least 3 to 5 times what it normally was, because if they want people and businesses to use wipes galore and disinfectant spray galore, then they have to try and meet the demand, because I think for the next year or two, the problems that we've had from this whole virus are not going to be relaxed anytime soon. And what's going to be really curious is when they try and shove a vaccine down people's throats, which you know they're going to try and do, and how the American public is going to respond to that. Because we all know where this is headed. And too many of our politicians are spineless cowards to say, no, the citizens have a right to refuse to be vaccinated if they want. So I think part of the thing is to make, you know, big pharma rich out of this whole virus situation. And but it's just a whole sickening situation. Hi.
So close in proximity. Yeah.
Good to see people out in the outdoors and people not wearing those stupid masks out here. Hey, breathe in the air. The best thing for you is to breathe in fresh air. It's possible I might see that group again here in a little bit, because it's going to take them about 30 minutes to get back to the Civilian Conservation Corps shelter, and they're probably not hiking as fast as I am. And I'm going to be on the side of the trail that you can go faster on. You see, wow, look at this right here. This is just totally tore up. I have not seen this part of the seen this part of the trail this tore up ever. Yeah, this is definitely the result of people, of these trails getting way too much activity when they shouldn't be, and they're not even safe with that mud right now. It's hard to even go through that mud right there. So wow, yeah, I have not seen so I think the trashing of the trails is really, see, I waited till it stopped raining 2 or 3 days before I came out here. And if you want to hike in the rain, go ahead. But you know, that's the price we get, especially if we have people that are inexperienced out here that don't understand the lay of the trails, and not to destroy the trails out here, because that'll do a lot of damage to trails right there, people. That's serious mud, and that's some serious damage to the trails. I said, can I make it to the end by the top of the video? Well, it doesn't matter, but I'm close enough that I'll start a new video whenever this one runs out. But yeah, that's a prime example of the trails just and those areas on that trail are not generally tore up like that normally. I mean, I have not seen any signs of trash out here like I heard people were complaining about. Yeah, this video is going to end here in the next minute or two, because it'll cut off and then I'll start a new one. Actually, right to that clearing over there is where we're going to be at, almost to the top of the clearing. Yeah, we're almost through this section. This video I know is going to cut off here any time. Yeah, wow. You could see just the damage that's taken place. And this trail does not get that much damaged. Does not